This is Irontrader, and this is midday trading. So as usual, we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas. But first of all, we'll look at a couple of computing stocks. First one is RGTI, and the other one is IONQ. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not recommended to buy, selling stocks by ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have a couple of computing stocks. So let's take a look here at RGTI here first. Okay, now you can see here where we had this, it rallied up here, just an extreme rally all the way from 66 cents all the way to 21.42. So I hope you killed it on that. I just, what happened to not be in it, I'm jammed up in NVIDIA and Meta and TQQ and all that kind of stuff. But let's just take a look and see what's going on here. Now, she fell right off the cliff here and left a really big gap. Okay, so I want you to make sure that it does rally up here, that we want to pay attention to this gap. Well, first of all, here it has to get back above this 8-day 1165. See where it rallied up yesterday and then today. Okay. So we got two kind of like a tweezer top situation going here. We got to see how this all shakes out. But you really have to get and close above this 8-day. You're sitting at 1166. Then we can go to this 21-day at 1269. Now this is going to be the key right here. Okay, so you got 1292, and then if we can get back above that, there's your gap. And then we look to the bottom of that candle at 1755 level, okay? Now, there is resistance in between, okay? You look at here at 1444, we look up here, you're looking at 1502, and then we come up here at, 1530. But realistically, you're probably heading for that gap at that 1755, okay? So always watch these gaps in this fill because it's like a mag to a fridge. So, first of all, upside, just watch that 8-day. You got to clear that, and then you got to clear that 21-day. Then we can look to the top of this candle here at that 1292. Then we can follow the resistance up here, but realistically, this is what you're looking at is that 1755 level, and then we can crack above that. You can have the retest test at 2142 level. Now, these are kind of like a FOMO kind of thing. So if you trade, it just got to be a little bit careful kind of a situation, okay? Now, downside here, well, we want to watch obviously today's low. You're looking at 1001, but really yesterday's low is going to be key. Okay, that's 973. There's your gap. And then we look to the top of this candle here at 897. There's your fill. Then we have your 50-day right below that at 693. And then we'll come down here to this retest level here at 595 level here. Now, when we look at the weekly here, you can just see here, this was just absolutely just dead. And then pow. I never like these kind of trades here because you never know if it's going to get right back to that up there. It reminds me of the marijuana stocks, Tillery. I bought Tillery, I can't remember, I think it was like in the 20s. And I sold it at $295. It got up to 300. I said, this is ridiculous. I just put a price in there at $295. I got it and I got out, and I don't think it's maybe a $2 stock today. So you got to be very, very careful with these. But if you are trading them, just watch that 8-day on the upside, that 21-day, the gap, and that fill. On the downside, watch this gap, this fill, and then watch that 50-day. Okay, let's look at here at IONQ. Okay, here we have IONQ here. Again, this is another one here, which is the same way. You can see we're just riding out nothing and then just smacked right up high, okay? But we left also this gap. Now, the gap is a little bit higher on this, but the key is here is going to be this 8 SMA here, 37.31. Now, the price is just above that, so that's going to be support. And then what we do is we look at the bottom of this candle, 36.13, and then we're looking for that 50-day at 33.84. Now, again, if that is lost here, you want to look to yesterday's low because there's that gap, okay, 32.41, and then we look to the top of this candle here at 30.20. There's your fill, your gap, your fill, and then we have your retest down here at 25.92. Now, if this thing can keep right on running here, we look to obviously yesterday's high, that's 40.50. This is going to be the key level right here, is going to be that 40.97. Now, right here, this 40.50, that's going to be key because there's your gap, and then the bottom right here is your fill, okay, at 48.73. So usually you would count this a gap and a fill, but you already went into the gap here, but we just haven't done any kind of fill. Now, there is obviously above that 21, there is a resistance. You're looking at 43 flat here. We can take all these candles right on up here. We can even look at the bottom of this candle at 47.13, but realistically, that gap fill will be your target. That would be at 48.73 level, okay? But right now here, this is just like, I don't know, this is just, when any kind of stock like this runs right up, you put a topping tail and it drops off the map here. You got to give this time to shake out. So if you're trading in this, give it some time here. Now, we look at the weekly chart here. You want to always watch that 8-day because what do I say about that 8-day? Once it gets above it, then she rides it up very, very nicely. But look at this big-ass red candle there for the week, and now she's trying to get up, and we have to close above that 8-day. That's going to be very, very crucial. That's at 39.60. If you can get above that, then we have a shot here, or maybe even doing like a retest up there, or maybe even going all the way to 54.74. But again, you got to get above this 21-day, which is at that 40.97. this 8-day on a closing basis by Friday. You need to get above that here. That way we can take it higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin on the left daily chart, and we have the ETF that I trade, IBIT. Now, the reason I trade this is it's owned by Blackwell. I got like $50 billion worth of assets here. And the thing I like about it is it trades huge volume. Okay, you can get in, you can get out of this thing very, very easily. So, easy way to trade Bitcoin. There's a zillion ways to trade it. This is just how I trade it. And then on the short side, I do BITI, and that works out very well. Now, okay, so when we look at this here on Bitcoin patterns, I just want to show you how very, very similar this is to look at your RSI here. See RSI, see, look at your MACD. See, everything is very similar. And one thing I also like about this, it's a spot price. It's not the futures of it. It's a spot price. So whatever Bitcoin is doing, this is doing just, obviously cheaper. Okay. When we look at this here, okay, we can see almost like a big W pattern, okay? And this here is going to be your neckline, okay? So when you look at the top of this candle, top of this candle, top of this candle, all these candles here come right across, that's your neckline right there, okay? So once that break in, this thing will unravel real quick to the upside. I mean like a hurricane, okay? But you got to close above it. Once you do that, then you're getting no problem testing that 108 960. Now, again, you crack that 108 960, you're going to 10,000 and probably 15 to maybe even the 17,000 area. So when you put a line going all the way on up here, like a price channel, that's where you're going to probably be about that 15 to 17,000 area, okay? But you got to crack above this neckline. That's going to be very, very key. Now, we look at yesterday's high here. You had 101 240. Today, we put in 101 425. So you made a nice little bit higher high. So what we're looking at next here, if you can get rally up here, is this 102 605. Okay, that's going to be your next level here. And then we're going to come right up here at 103 190. And then we'll look at the recent high at 103 685. But again, this is your neckline right here. Once we start cracking that open, okay, then we have a good shot. Your next target is going to be right there. It's going to be that 105 325. And then we look to the bottom of this candle right here. Okay, 106 flat. And then we have 106 960. We'll come up here, okay, 108 475, and then 108 960. Then we have to see what the reaction is once we get up there, okay? So if it comes up here and you break through all this, then I say you can hit that 110 area very, very quick, very, very fast, and probably rally up to that 115, 117 area. But again, we have this nice W pattern going on here, which is very, very nice. We got to see if we can just break out above this, or is she going to come down? Now, you can see where it's sold down here, but look at it, okay? You're held right down to that, a little bit below that 21-day, right down to that 8-day. So that's going to be your support levels here, okay? So what we're watching on support is going to be right there, 99 920, and then we're going to come right here to this 97 981, and then we're going to come right here to this 97 595. Now, again, if that's lost, we look to yesterday's low. Okay, 96 855, and then we have that nice 50-day at 94 475. But right now, this pattern here is playing out very, very nicely. So when you look at this IBIT, see, it's exactly the same kind of a thing, and it's a very, very easy way to trade this. Okay, so your next level here we're looking for is yesterday's high, that 57 35, and then we can come up to the top of this candle here at that 58 46, and then your big retest up there is 61.75. But being this price here like at that 55 level, 56 level, it's very easy here to buy multiple shares. I'll buy like 5,000 shares of this here, and then when you run up, it doesn't take much here. Every point you're making $5,000. Okay, so it's very, very easy. Now we have this W pattern here, so we got to see how this all shakes out. Now again, if this does a topping situation and we start losing that 21 8-day, well then we got to look for that 50-day and then possibly even lower. But let's just see how this all shakes out. But when you see a candle like this here, okay, so everybody right there, when this candle came out, everybody's looking, calling for, oh, it's going on to 70 grand. It may be very well do that. But again, this is why you want to trade the charts. But you notice that it closed above that 50-day, and look how nice it's holding that all the price up there, okay, right above that 50-day. That's what you're looking for. Don't let this here get suckered in and all these shorts get swallowed in here, and then boom, then they got to eat it all the way on up here, okay? So always watch the chart and be patient, okay, and keep your trading simple. Just watch your chart. Once you close above that 50-day, then you know you're going to go right back up here because this is a bottoming tail, okay? So just keep things simple. Now, RSI here looking really, really good. You're only at 56, and then you're only at 937. I mean, your green is below your red here, but it looks like it wants to push above that. If it does, it'll send this price up much, much higher. But just watch this neckline. Okay, that's the key. Now, don't say, oh, it's going to go up. It's going to go up here. Well, it might, but it's going to hit that neckline first, and then we got to see what the reaction is going to be, okay? Is it going to top out on that and come right back down again, or is it going to bust through and head for that 108? Okay, let's take a look here at the old crude and Natgas. Okay, here we have crude oil and natural gas. Now you can see just a really, really nice run up here with the old crude, okay? But this is why you want to trade the charts, okay? When you get this parabolic move here, this is why you always want to look at that RSI. You're getting here to a nosebleed section, okay? And that's the key. So again, now this could go sideways, don't get me wrong. It shows a lot of strength here, but always when you start getting above that 70 mark, that's when you want to start taking some off the table here. Now your green is still over your red, going to sideways action. This could still go sideways here for a while. Let's just see how this all shakes out. But now we have this red candle, which we made a lower low here. Now, what we had for a high here, what do we have here? Is a 79.21 level. We're looking at this candle right here, 79.27. Okay, so that was your resistance level. You notice that it couldn't hold it, and now she's coming right on down here. Okay, so let's look at the downside here first. So your next level obviously is going to be right here. It's going to be that 76.51 level. Okay, now if that's lost here, you're going to hit that 50-day, 200-day, probably pretty quick at that 75.35 level. And then again, if that's lost here, then what we do is we just follow these candles. Okay, so you got 74.99. That's what you're looking at. We're looking at 74.53, and then we come to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 74.02, and then we have this level right here, okay? So this is going to be very, very strong support. That's at 73.16, and then we have your 21-day right below it at 72.89. But that's only if that 8-day is lost. Just because we come on down here, we came all the way down here too, but you notice it held that 8-day, then she rallied up higher, so let's just see how this all shakes out. Now, upside, obviously, you want to watch yesterday's low. You're looking at 77.24. We'll look over here. You're looking at 77.41. Then we'll come over to the top of this candle here at 77.86. And then we come up here, the top here. You're looking at 77.41. And then this is your big boy right there at that 79.27 level. That's what you're looking for. And then we have your beat test up there at 80.77. But right now, we just got some sideways action. We got to see how this all shake out. I took a short there today, got rid of the long, took a short. I got rid of the long yesterday, and I took a short here today. So I'm going to see how this all shakes out. I shorted with SCO. That works out really good. UCO for the long. So we got to see how it all shakes out here. Now, natural gas here is still very, very bullish chart here. Everything is bottom left, upper right, looking very, very nice. We put in a higher high and a higher low, and we're holding the top portion of yesterday's candle, which is always very good. We just have some sideways action going on here, okay? So it's really no big bang, as they say, okay? So what we want to do is, you look at the downside here first. You want to watch today's low. That's at 401. Okay, so you hit 401 right here, you hit 401 right there, and you hit 401 there. So that's massive support. Okay, right there. That's the key. Now, if that's lost here, you will go and retest this 8-day at 3.86. If that's lost, you'll retest this 21-day here at that 3.69. Now, upside here, well, you know, obviously we want to look right here to yesterday's candle. Looking at 3.14. We look at today's high. At 4.17, and then this is what your target is that 4.20. Now again, if it can't get up there, I mean, say it does get up there and you break through, then there's your big target right there at 4.36. So I just trade this back and forth here today. That's all I really do. Took a little scalp on the old KOLD there today. What the hell did I get out of that? Oh, I got 50 cents out of the KOLD because you can see where she was just kind of falling off, and I put on other charts there, like your tick chart, 1, 5, 15-minute chart. So I got 50 cents out of the KOLD there, so that was okay. So I'll be looking for scalps here. If this holds this 8-day, then we just take that long again. Or if we break out of yesterday's high, then I take along to this level, and I take along to that level. Now, this has had a really, really good run up here, so we got to see how this all shakes out. It's the same way with crude. Now, remember, when T-Man gets in here on Monday, he's not a fan of high prices. He's a fan of huge pumping volume and all that. But remember, on crude oil, you know, he likes that price between the 50 and the 60 area. Natural gas is going to be something very interesting because if they start firing up that LNG, they're going to start running more pipelines, and natural gas will be very, very much in play. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after the pit close. We'll take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas, and then we throw something else in the mix. Trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.